I'm telling you, that Sphinx is doing something. Everyone is going crazier every episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Infinite Ryvius. No comments today, but of course we do have a board with some board changelog to go over. I added a purple arrow between Cullen and Yuki that I should have done a while back. I added a purple arrow from Yuki to Aoi, given Cullen's conversation with him. I changed the purple line between Fina and Koji to a white line with a purple arrow from Fina to Koji, because obviously that relationship has changed after Koji's dickishness last episode. I don't know if it's dickishness. Obviously, if you are in the Aoi Koji boat, then that is great for you, right? That Koji's finally made up his mind about where he's going with this. But if, like, from early on, you have been on the Fina Koji train, yeah, that's right, one's a boat, one's a train, deal with it, then this is the dickishness of the highest order, the way he just broke up with her after everything he's done. Like, she points out literally all the steps he's taken into establishing this relationship just to decide that he was never right for her to begin with. Anyway, as I said, reflected on the board. I'm not going to mark Akumi for his actions at the end of the episode just yet, only because in this show, I feel like things need at least one episode to play out before we see where they go. Kind of like the same way that the last revolt that happened, I didn't mark down all the people who, like, changed sides or anything, because everything feels like it's in flux for at least one episode before things get stabilized for whatever span of episodes that they become stabilized for. So yeah, that is the board as it currently is. Of course, I've got notes. Also, my first note is kind of a little bit of a segue. So, to discuss Akumi's comment about things being best when Airs Blue was in charge. And forgetting for the moment that Akumi was going to overlook Blue abandoning the entire ship to its own fate, I know, early on, there were people in the comments defending Blue as a leader. And even I have to say that what is currently going on is worse than back then. But I also have to acknowledge that our current situation is an extension of what happened under his command. I think we need to look back at the 3 different commands that the Ryvius has had to really see who had the best run. I'm pretty sure you'll say I'm biased at the moment. Or not even at the moment. You'll say I'm biased the moment I list the candidates. But here goes. In our first run, we had Luxon. We are going to skip over the actual command crew of adults that get killed, as this is about the kids taking over for themselves. What happened under Luxon's command? The Libra Delta fall, the Infiltrators attack, the first assault by Conrad. This was also during the Luxon is a fool phase of his character arc. So most of his action is asking those under him what to do, him freaking out, and the task being accomplished by more competent people. On the outset, that doesn't seem great, but I'd argue that of the 3 people we are going to talk about, it's still the best. Under Luxon, even in the worst situations, the Zwei crew felt comfortable enough to speak up and give ideas, acting together for the best interests of everyone without any infighting. This is not a characteristic that will be present moving forwards, and is arguably something a good leader engenders, which Luxon does. You want good ideas from various sources. You want people to feel free enough to share those ideas. Luxon was a fool, but he was a fool people felt comfortable with. He also organized a public rally to talk to everyone on the ship without a riot demanding that he give anyone answers, like all the future commanders do. Granted, he was shit at public speaking, but going back to everyone being at their strongest under him, Julie was able to step forwards. Luxon's crew filled in each other's weaknesses with one another's strengths. In our second run, we have Blue. Blue has a gun, and people are scared of gun. Blue makes the command structure seem, or is, more rigid, enforcing his rule with his gang of lackeys, who then recruit like-minded people among the rest of the students to call supervisors. Essentially, he created a mafia to run the ship. Granted, he did take input from the Zwei when they weren't too scared to share it, and even brought in outsiders to form a bridge between the bridge and everyone else. Ultimately, though, he is responsible for the majority of the suffering of the people aboard the Ryvius as the show goes on. Supervisors abusing their position and infinite resources, violence against the Zwei, his ultimate plan to abandon the main ship and deliver the weapon to the Hyperion, to Hyperion. The Hyperion makes it sound like it's a ship or something. Even the actions Stein takes to manipulate the crew, you could argue could only have taken place under Blue's command. Under Luxon, everyone would be talking together, rather than one voice at a time to the commander pointing a gun at people. In fact, under Blue's command, there are not just one, but two instances of the Vital Garter trying to usurp control of the ship. If you don't remember, you have San and, what was the other guy's name? San and Gran, trying to take control of the Vital Garter and just run off or, have full authority on their own. And then, of course, the second time is Blue himself doing it. Lastly, we have Julie, a promising individual ruined by the stress and influence of Blue's rule and the man himself. So that by the time she was thrust into command, the people on board were likewise going crazy by those same stresses. We have wandering gangs, beating people and stealing supplies. The ship's graffitied and damaged all over. Barely anyone is reporting to work anymore. Apathy is ever-present and widespread. Things weren't this bad when the Libra Delta was falling into the Gadult and everyone thought they were going to die. This is a new low, and not only could Julie not manage to reel it all back in, she was so overwhelmed that she resigned from the position. My conclusion is obvious. It's the conclusion I've been saying for the last few episodes now. Luxon, even as a fool, was the best commander the ship ever had. Sure, he can be an idiot. Most of the time he doesn't know what to do in the moment, but he brings out the best under him because they think he's a fool and work together to overcome despite that. People aren't afraid under him, which lets them speak their mind, even to his face. It was the perfect environment to make decisions that helped everyone and got them through some rough times. Now people are scared, not talking to each other, and the atmosphere engendered by Blue's changes has created a ship that cannot manage to get along. So yes, I spent all this time defending Luxon's idiocy as the best captain. My last note here, and yes, I only had two really. Koji's dealing with Fina was really dickish. He's led her on this entire time, as she points out, and this is how he chooses to handle it in the end. I feel like Rafra is meant to be a visual representation of the conversation, but he's far too visceral on that meal than it seems like the conversation indicates. You could use Rafra going to town on Aui's packed lunch as a metaphor for a zombie attack. It's that good, but out of place here. I felt like it anyway. Either way, this is the infuriating aspect of Koji's personality. He cannot commit to anything for long. His indecisiveness hurts people, and that is what everyone is trying to tell him. No doubt that flashback Yuki is constantly going back to is when this same relationship pattern hurt came up before and hurt someone Yuki cared about. Let's not ignore what Fina says at the end about cutting Koji away from his past. We keep hearing about Koji having to defend Aoi. Well, I think he's created that threat. I don't know if I said this clearly enough. I think Fina is going to go after Aoi in order to make Koji, or have her be Koji's only option, right? I think like Akumi is like, you better defend Aoi, because I don't think you're going to be able to. I think Koji has inadvertently created the threat to Aoi, where Aoi did not really have a threat to before. Anyway, those are my main thoughts. Again, a lot of flashbacking happened last episode, so there was really only the 3 or 4 things to think about, and I think that's mostly what am I talking? That's mostly represented on the board, and I really wanted to take a moment away to talk about Luxon again, because again, the fact they didn't bring him back on with his Y, and he's just getting down below, getting his ass kicked, but still working and defending Pat. Dude's a good guy. Also, they still haven't explained why Pat had a black eye in one scene. Am I supposed to intuit what happened? Anyway, that is that. I think we should go ahead and move into the episode from there.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Again, this also doesn't make much sense because he doesn't have the supplies to stay out there forever. Not to mention, they never know when the next time they'll be under attack will be. Sorry, there was a quick flash of Kriff showing Charlie that shirt. And then Charlie's wearing the shirt now. Oh, don't creepy smile to this. God, what's her name now? Naya? She's against this too. Of course she has to be against this because she is the ship. Or she's a Sphinx on the ship somewhere. But still, essentially, it's part of her is threatening another part of her. So she has to implicitly be against the thing. And of course you have, God, what's her name? Reika? I'm completely forgetting people's names without the board up in front of me. Because I haven't talked about them in a long time either. Akumi goes and threatens her over what happened to Azumi. And now she thinks Akumi is out to kill her because Akumi has no filter anymore about what's going on around him. Man's gone totally insane. I also just don't know how you handle this situation. We know they have those little ships that they were training on in the first episode, and they've gone out to repair the Ryvius with multiple other times. Are they going to be able to fly that to the Vital Garter control ship in order to, I don't know, disarm Akumi? But even then, he'd be able to see that coming, right? And fulfill his threat. But then he couldn't even fulfill his threat because Azumi is on the ship. There's no chance in hell he's gonna hurt the ship that Azumi is on. I guess it's gonna be the episode where we find out if Koji has the gun still or not. Is Blue? No. We saw them running. Did they get on here before he launched? Well, shit. This does fuck up a bunch. The third time this has been said now. Why does nobody look over at Stein and think, what the fuck is this guy up to? Well, this is... Those two should not be together. What, did you drag her into gambling with you? They were the most solid relationship, and it feels like they've fallen apart too. Are you fucking serious? No, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean the fact that she got the gang back together. I mean, are you fucking serious about the he's angry that they got rid of Blue's gang off of the bridge? Now, looks like it's time for the cult to start. I appreciate Luxon is still looking after Pat. How's that even commenting when the fuck down? Fucking Stein, man. Fucking Stein. Great. A second Airs Blue. The lesson we've learned is that violence solves all answers.
第156区画で傷害事件が発生したという報告を受けました。そこを攻撃
He could just be fucking making that up.
秩序を構築するために
Who's in 156? Better not be fucking Luxon. I better not lose Luxon. Or Pat. I mean, Pat too. Legit don't know the layout of the ship, so I don't know who's at threat here. Okay, this. People we don't know. Ah, we better not fucking wander into 156. How fucked up is this? You're literally attacking your own goddamn ship. I'm telling you, that Sphinx is doing something. Everyone is going crazier every episode. I believe Stein would manipulate Akumi and tell him lies. Then how are you going to stop anyone from rushing the Vital Garter lift ship? Legitimately, if you have a gun, I feel like now is the time to use it, Koji. Legit had a fight just the other day about guarding her. Yeah, how are you gonna wander onto the bridge? I guess the idea is that Yuki and Cullen are gonna be able to keep the threat alive. Is Akumi gonna try and, like, claim captaincy now? Might have to make a fourth comparison? Oh, time jump again. Then you can only kill 50 people at a time? So new supervisors, led by the old supervisors.
ぎったのに。
いいからやめろ。お前が俺を支持するって言うからガーディアンズにしたんだ。もし揉め事を起こすようなら俺はお前を容赦なく裁く。
Saved by the insane chaos that's going on. It's fucking crazy.
見逃すなよ。反抗してきたら臨機応変に対応するんだ。慣れてんだろ。言っても聞かないやつにはってことか。ああ、何が正しくて何が間違ってるか徹底的に教え込むんだ。
I cannot fucking stand Stein in the background.
篠崎さんが小瀬君の意見に賛同したことだった。しかも彼女は
天皇政権のチタニア。
はい、私はチタニアの首相であるロレンスの孫なんです。
どうして言わなかった？
Why is everyone on this fucking ship either an orphan or related to somebody super in power?
そこに行けば確実に保護してくれるんだろうな。
ええ、チタニアは同盟に所属していませんし、きっと大丈夫です。チタニアまで約2ヶ月。この悪夢のような生活を我慢すればみんな自由になれる。1時間でも1秒でも。
I mean that, or they'll destroy Titania the same way they destroyed Hyperion.
西暦2225年11月4日、リーベデルタ総選家第2期生ユイリー・バハナ。こんなことしかできないなんて、なんて無力なの私。
God damn it, we can leave. Get blue out of your head.
なわけで俺の ID は書き換えられるし、イクミにも会えないし、しかもユキがイクミに協力するなんて。それで？いや、あんたならどうするかと思って。お前の懐にあるものを使う。すぐにな。
So I'm guessing Koji still does have the gun then. By the way, protect Aoi. Leaves her alone constantly all the time still. And she's becoming as crazy as Azumi is.
1ヶ月前と比べて 3% 台に下がりました。3% 台か。素晴らしい社会構築です。私にとってユートピアに近い。まだゼロじゃない。それは確率的に言ってもするんだよ。何度も言ってるが、少しでも規則に反したものはその場で全てポイントを没収する。飯が欲しければ黙って並べ。おい、これだけか？彼の食べる分がないじゃないか。早くどけよ。後ろが使えてんだ。
いいよルクさん、僕働いてないし。
しかしだな。
Now Luke's gonna give his food up to Pat, I'm sure.
こいつにポイント取られたんじゃないのか？いや、僕があげたというか、そういうこと。
He better though. I mean, I'm assuming he will. He better.
食料が欲しいならちゃんと並べ。いや、ダメだ、流されてる。何もできないまま俺は。
I guess there's a good and a bad at Nick's finally being held accountable for his assholishness.
コーチ、
ファイナ、お願いだ。イクミに合わせてくれ。俺の ID だと核兵器は開かないんだ。
She fully assembled her outfit again. That's
言
good.
いたいことがあって。だから。
それはダメ。だってあなたは過去を盾にして小瀬君を困らせるもの。彼は未来をつかもうとしている。素晴らしいことだわ。もし小瀬君に会いたいのなら特権階級に戻ればいい。あなたが私の部屋に来ればいいわ。そうすればいつでも。
それはできない。放っておけないんだ。
葵さん。
ああ。
At the very least, it. No, never mind.
ファイナさん。そうだ。実は誰かにお願い。
I was gonna say at least that's all she's doing in revenge terms, but that face right there. Never mind.
お前が率先して秩序を乱してどうするんだよ。言ったろ、クズはいつまで経ってもクズなんだよ。もうしねえ、勘弁してくれ。なんでだ。どうして当たり前のことができないんだ。こんなんじゃダメだ。
Because people get corrupted. This is like the whole school prison experiment fucking thing.
君を守れない。君が穏やかでいてくれれば他に何にもいらないんだ。
This is rule through fear.
なんだよ、ポイントねえじゃねえか。危ねえ橋渡ってるってのに。お前ら黙ってろ。いいな。使えねえや なんねえよやっぱシミュレーションでも宮廷しか
I guess at least I'm glad that the gun is out of the system.
要求度高すぎ。
死にたくないならやれよ。
はいはい。で、まだ決着つかないわけ？
何が
1ヶ月会ってないんでしょ？
だから何が見せてやる。あんたと俺の決定的な差が何かってことをな。
You're both dicks. You're just dicks in different ways. Surprising. It's a show I'm watching where I hate, like, all of the main characters.
コージ？
Oh, Fina, you did the thing I thought you weren't gonna do.
そんなことするの？怖いよ。痛いよ。
葵、どうした？葵、大丈夫か？葵。いや、来ないで。俺だ、コイジだ。葵。葵。
コージ。
ああ。
なんで私？嫌だ。
落ち着け。もう大丈夫だから。
おかしいよ。絶対おかしい。なんで私こんなとこにいなくちゃいけないの？
葵。
リーベデルタがダイブした時コージが帰らないから。あんたたち仲悪いから。だから私。
お前それで。ごめん。
It's kind of what Azumi said.
母さんからも離れたかっ
It's
た。
all fucked up because you try to keep them both.
だったら作業をボイコットするな。お前がどう間違ってるか徹底的に教えてやる。やめてくれ。その強引すぎる。
行かないで。ここにいて。
葵。
信じられないよ。あんなことユキが手伝ってるなんて。
You know, instead of maybe asking him not to go, just go with him.
これ現実じゃないよね。
Stop hanging around by yourself.
こんなの現実じゃない。
Oh, crazy guys.
明日になったら目が覚めるもの。学校に行く途中でコージの家が見えてユキと喧嘩しててしょうがないなって思って私が止めに行くの。二人はちょっと罰の悪そうな顔してて。
I would be surprised if this show just ended with everybody fucking dead. I don't know how.
ねえ、そうだって言ってよ。コージが言った
I don't know how we fucking get out of this anymore.
信じられるからお願い言ってよコージ。
I want Luxon and Pat to get like on one of the ships and just launch on their own.
ここは地球じゃない。リワイアスの中だ。イクミとユウキは俺たちから離れ、梢が傷ついて、市川がいなくなって、何人も犠牲者が出てしまった。
なんでそんなこと言うの？慰めてよ。大丈夫だって言ってよ。
今を見るんだ。
嫌だ。
頼む、葵。
嫌だよ。
Is the message
現実なんだ。
that everything's fucked up because everyone's keeping looking to the future instead of the past or the present?
でも、そうなんだ。
コージ。
もうどうしようもないんだ。俺だって何も。ああ。
コージ。やだ。泣いちゃダメ。泣かないで。泣かないでお願い。
I guess he's finally broken down. He's finally broken that barrier that he's been holding up.
こんなにも悲しいのに。コージ。
明日なんか来なければいいのに。
I completely forgot how much episode we had gotten to so far. I did not expect the ending to be coming. Ah, Jesus. So, you got Fina and her crew, which are all about her crew. Her cult, religion, whatever. Which is all about getting rid of the past. It feels like the message is that most of the people on board are looking towards the future. Like, we got Julie's message about 2 months from now. So everybody is causing pain to one another with what about tomorrow? And I guess the message is from Koji's side is just think about today, because tomorrow might never come.
リバイアス。バイア艦と呼ばれるこの船には大いなる秘密が隠されていた。それだけじゃない。俺たちの知らない計画まで隠されていた。人類が生き残るための大いなる計画が。
What? What? Sorry, the whole for human race to survive, it feels like we're finally. Oh, so they're covering the fact about the Via, which I have to take that they mean the Sphinx, because we've covered what Sphinx means, and we haven't heard the word Via in forever. And the element of an operation isn't going on, save the entirety of mankind, which I haven't referred to or guessed about any of that in forever. Because remember, a bunch of these ships have been extraterrestrial for a long time. Like, they haven't been in the solar system. And they had to be recalled to fight the Ryvius. And the other one is coming back. 2 episodes ago, we saw the crew looking out. I thought it was supposed to be Conrad. Might not have been Conrad as the captain, because it very much seems like we just saw Conrad in the next time on. And he didn't look like that guy. So, we have another ship coming in. Conrad is going to do whatever fuck Conrad's going to do. It looked like that was the government guy. I don't know what... See, we still don't really know what the threat to mankind is. I had guessed real early on that the threat was going to be some sort of extra solar fight or war that's going on that we don't know the stakes of. But then we started focusing on the fact that there was creatures living in the Gadult. So... I don't know what that's about either. I mean, obviously, I feel like I have expressed a number of times that the creatures living in the Gadult is what we've built these ships off of. And we know... Sorry, I keep using the word we know. We don't know shit. Obviously, people who have seen the show before know what's going on. We have suspected that there's a breeding ground further into the Gadult. There's also this whole conspiracy about what caused the Gadult to flare up, and it seems like people know and they're keeping it hidden to the degree that they've killed entire colonies of people to keep the Ryvius away from it. So wherever the Ryvius specifically is has to be something new or developed enough that it has information about the thing they're trying to keep hidden. I don't know if Fina's even telling the truth about her family relationship. Didn't she... I almost want to say she indicated she was an orphan before, but that's clearly somebody else. So that she's just lying to get them to go where she needs them to go. Because she's very clearly manipulating everyone, especially that conversation with Koji, where she was like, sorry, I can't even emote what she did. I don't know, so much going on here. This is clearly going to be another in-depth a note section, more so than my last time, because again, last episode was more a bunch of recaps and recontextualizations of 2 to 3 different characters. I hate that Yuki still thinks he's arguing with his brother by everything he does. That makes no sense. I have to think that the person that was in there with Aoi was sent by Fina, because obviously we got a shot of Fina just after they went in, although it very much looked like they were about to stab them, but then she was acting the same way Azumi did after Azumi got brutalized. I'm going to call it brutalization, because I don't want to refer to it as it was, because I don't want to think about that shit. God. I feel like this is where my board is lacking, because the interpersonal relationships of everybody on this ship is the centerpiece of it, and my board just doesn't have enough states to reflect that. By the end of this, I'm going to have a board that's so complicated that none of the other shows are going to be complicated enough to fit in. Like, the stuff I will have developed to make this board look right will not be representative on any of the other boards that I make. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to leave it here with this because there's too much here. I'm going to ramble, and it's really going to be for the notes for next time to put this all back together again. So, yeah, for now, I've been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?